So I had been planning on making a video of some of the most valuable undeveloped properties in Los Angeles for my website, ninefigureproperties.com, and sometimes the puzzle pieces just kind of come together. I remember looking at the satellite images and seeing this property and wondering what this was, and I hadn't figured it out. And then a few weeks ago, it came out Rupert Murdoch had gotten married at his vineyard. And it took me a little while, but the pieces kind of came together, and then I realized that that property that I'd seen on the satellite images is the Moraga winery that Rupert Murdoch had bought. And I don't know what the property is worth now, but it's 13 acres, includes the house, the winery, and 13 acres in this prime area of Los Angeles is worth a lot. So anyways, that's a good jumping off point. Some of the other valuable properties in LA that are undeveloped. There's a property called Senderos Canyon, which was just on the market, which is effectively this big canyon here that was up for auction recently. That did not sell, but the other other valuable properties in the area include this Enchanted Hill, which has a long history. It's a 120-acre property. Sold for Jeff Bezos had looked at it, I believe, and then it ended up selling to Eric Schmidt of Google for $65 million. It's a house that has a Hollywood history, and it's been raised, and it's got a couple of access points. It's this whole hilltop that goes all the way from down here and comes out on the Canyon Road. So there's two exits. I guess it could be developed into multiple homes. But the one that's really particularly interesting, and to give you a sense of how valuable this entire property here, it was marketed once for $1 billion. And just to give you a sense, if you look down here at this property down here that sits below it, that's actually this property here, on the market now for $88 million. So if you consider that, the property that's above it, that could be developed into like 7 different homes, I believe was the plan at one point. Long story. You can find the links to a Vanity Fair article describing the entire history on my page of undeveloped properties there. Sorry, bear with me here. There's a couple of other hilltop properties by Franklin Canyon that were in the news for a while as well. It's actually these two areas here. One up here and one here. And there's a lot of history with these. This was the property that had an asking price of $250 million. Developed his big property here that was in the news for a while. I believe the property was lost and is back on the market now, still undeveloped for now. I think undeveloped. It's now on the market for $68 million. And I mentioned there's a property above it. Same owner actually had this hilltop up here, which was discussed in this article in Forbes for 50 or 100 million developed. So these hilltops are, potentially very valuable, but there's issues with getting approvals. That's those two that we discussed recently. That's the mountain. This is Enchanted Hill. And I wanted to just try to find Palazzo di Amore. it over here. Which is another property that was once marketed for $195 million, just to give you a sense of, it didn't actually sell, but massive house developed by Jeff Green for 53,000 square feet that I believe is still for rent now. Interesting stories.